Hi, welcome back Cloud Scholars. I'm your host, Kieran Tross. In today's video, I'll go over Azure pricing. Before you get started with Azure Portal, it's a good idea to understand the payment process so you don't run into any surprises. So the first thing you're going to do is pull up Google, and we're going to type in Azure pricing. Now you can click on any of the first links. It should bring you to the Azure.Microsoft site. And the next thing we're going to go to is come all the way up to the top banner and click on pricing. Now, there's two sub-levels. There's how to buy, and then there's pricing tools and resources. But what I want to do is start off with the pricing calculator. Even though this is about Azure pricing, the pricing calculator is a very great tool that Microsoft offers for free, which helps you scope out your project. Now, some of you may not be in IT, may be looking to get into IT. And some of you may already be in IT. The pricing calculator is a really great tool to help you scope out projects so that this way you can have that financial forecast to let you know how much something's going to cost, whether it's compute, storage, or whatever the case may be. You can get it here, and you can pretty much look into how much it will cost for a couple of days, a month, or whatever the case may be. So we're going to come down here, and if you go to popular, you're going to see most of the stuff that people go into. We're going to click on compute. We're going to click virtual machine. It was already in popular, but I kind of want you to kind of be able to see when you click on different things what populates after on the right side. So we're going to click on compute, and we're going to click on virtual machines. So calculator is going to start processing that input, and then right here on the right hand side you see a pop-up, and you can scroll down. So right here is where you have your calculator basically. So think of it as you putting in your order online, right? When you're saying, okay, I want chicken fingers and french fries, or I want a burger, whatever the case may be, you start seeing that whatever you place in there, you'll see the price change. And watch exactly what I mean by this. So one of the first things you're going to do is say, okay, I want a virtual machine, but where do you want the virtual machine? You have all these different options here of where you could put the virtual machine. We're just going to go with Central US. Doesn't really matter. Then you get to choose your operating system. Is it Windows or Linux? We'll stay with Windows. The type, you get to choose the type. And then you have tier. Now, based on the tier, the price will fluctuate. So we have two options. We have standard and basic. If you look down here, it's $154.03. If I click on basic, it drops down. We're going to go with standard. Over here, you have the different categories. Now, if you choose a different category, your storage optimized, this is basically talking about the hard drive, right? General purpose. These options over here are going to change. It's going to be limited. So right now, if I go to, let's go storage optimized, the price jumps substantially. Plus, you have the L series, which you're pretty much going to be looking into. Now, if I were to come back up here and click compute optimized, price drops. But then you only have the F series here. And I'll go into all that stuff with the instant types. For now, we're going to click on all, because I really want you to see everything, right? And then see, they have these different series here. And that's what it is. So you see the instant series, let's just say I'll call all and I'll say D series, right? Just so you can see. So that's basically why you're seeing it that way. So I'll click on all. And basically when you start off with this, you're going to pay attention to, the cores, how many cores, CPUs, the memory, but it's really based on what your needs are, right? So you might be setting something up for, I don't know, a web server, right? So you're going to need a little more, strength for that, more power. Or you might just say, okay, I just need a VM so that I have one of my users log into. So you're not going to need as much, right? So let's just say you say, I'm fine with 8 cores and 14 gigs, or 4 cores and 7 gigs, whatever. I'm just going to go down to the B series, 4 cores, 16 gigs. Let's just do that one there. So we're at 157. So then you say, okay, well, how many virtual machines am I going to run with this same power? So let's say you go 3. So that's 473.04. But you're like, well, I don't know how many hours, but I'm going to break it down to days. And I can say 31 days. So that's how much it's going to cost for 31 days. Or I can say a month. You know, one of the things I want to point out is that there are saving options, right? So you get to save up to 72% pay-as-you-go prices with 1 year or 3-year reserve virtual machines. So what is a reserved virtual machine? So think of a reserved virtual machine as you're telling Microsoft, I am going to pay for this machine and keep this resource for 1 year. So Microsoft is trying to make money and they want to give you a discount at the same time. So they're like, okay, if you do pay as you go, one of the things that people run into is when you don't know how to properly manage your machines is there's things that you can turn off and turn your machine on at certain times. Now, I don't want to get too technical right now because this is really about just the pricing of Azure, and most likely you're not really there in terms of understanding how Azure works. But the reserved virtual machines, the way they work is you're saying, I am going to reserve the machine for a year. So Microsoft's saying, okay, well, you made a commitment to us for a year, so now we're going to drop the pricing down for you. Or if you make a commitment for us for 3 years, right, we're going to drop it even more. So if I do 1 year, it's a 42% discount. You see the pricing? It went from $473 to $291. Now, let's go to a bigger storage, right? A bigger instance where I'm like, okay, 42. Oh, this one's big. All right, let's go. This is $24,000 is going to cost for the month. You want that 40% discount, right? Because now look how much substantially drops. That's like $6,000 right there. And I go for 3 years, it even drops even more. So those are the reasons why you want to do stuff like that. And then there's other things you could go into, which is manage disk and things of that nature, storage transactions. So I just wanted to kind of go through this with you, and then you have the option of sharing it. So let's say if you want to send it to the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer, because they're trying to say, okay, well, how much is this project going to cost me? Saving it, or you can export it to an Excel file. Either way, you can go ahead with all of those. So I wanted to kind of go over the pricing calculator because I thought it would be really good. It's cool to add it into the video, but we're going to go back to pricing, and we're going to go to Azure pricing. So right here, you're going to say request a pricing quote. We're not going to go through that. That's more about having somebody from Microsoft reach out to you. We're going to go to try Azure free. So right here is try Azure free. There's all this stuff where you can say pay as you go or start for free. Now, if you do the pay as you go, click on that. You can get started to build into your security pay as you go pricing. And then it's going to ask you to sign in. We're not going to really worry too much about that right now. What we want to do is start for free. And then here is where you'll sign up for your Microsoft account. So if you don't have an account, you're going to go ahead and create one. So right here, you're going to put your email address in. I'm going to go ahead and put mine. Okay, at this point in the video, you're just going to have to enter your email address and verify your account. Plus, it's going to ask you for your birth date. So obviously, I don't want to show that information. So just follow through the prompts. And then once you get through that section, we'll head back and continue with our video. Thanks so much. So over here, once the account is created, you're going to go ahead and fill out your profile information. So I'm going to go ahead with this, and then we could continue with the video. Okay, sorry, Cloud Scholars, I had to edit that portion out of the video because obviously I'm putting in personal data such as credit card information. But you should reach this portion of the video where it asks you for feedback, and Microsoft's just saying, hey, how did we do? How was the process of onboarding you to your Azure portal? Once you're done with that, it's going to redirect you, and then the page you should get to is the Azure portal once you click on this button. Okay, Cloud Scholars, you have reached the end of this video. You are at the quick start center, so give yourselves a pat in the back for getting through this whole video. There's a lot more to learn. I have videos about virtual machines, how to create them, storage accounts, you name it, I've got it. If there's something that you're studying or something that you want to learn specifically within the Azure portal, please leave a comment
and I will respond back or try to create a video to help you with your learning process. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to thank you for taking the time and to spend your time with me. Here at Cloud Scholars, my goal is to get you from scholar to consultant, and obviously from consultant to expert. Thank you, and see you next time.